Hello, this is Estefania. Well, I wanna make a new series of videos. I wanna talk about a subject that many people, including myself, love a lot, but often we misunderstand the whole point of everything. And this is occultism and chaos magic. Well, first, let's go with occultism. A lot of people confuse occultism with esotericism and other stuff. Occultism, or dark arts, however you want to call it, some argue that it's not the same, but is the same properly. Occultism is basically philosophy. Philosophy with a larger extent, because philosophy itself, it's about finding answers for all the things that we want to explain inside of ourselves, outside of ourselves, our personality, life, death. Occultism goes beyond. Occultism it's a hard thing to define, because orthodoxically speaking, occultism is linked to proper magic and manipulation and unrealistic divination. I'm gonna explain why it's unrealistic. But occultism is just, like I said, philosophy with a greater extent. Occultism is self analysis, is self discovery, is self improvement, goes beyond philosophy. Why? Because occultism touches certain subjects that are really hard to explain. For example, some stuff that not only philosophy but also psychology have talked about synchronicity, has many subjects that are not explainable, yet real. And this is an example of what occultism does. Occultism is intended to find answers where humanly is impossible to see. The trick is that it's very hard to reach an intelligence. How can you call it? A level of understanding that can make fair justice to both the occult and the one that studies. In my case, I will talk about my experience with occultism, and then we'll go to chaos magic, which is a harder subject. I was desperate to find answers in my life. So desperate that I tried everything. I mean, everything. Imagine all the books, especially forbidden books, you could ever imagine. But I found something really peculiar. I didn't know that I was reading, I was doing occult practices until I heard about the subject of occultism. I was like, oh my god, I'm really into this. And at first, and this is the biggest catch. At first, I felt so captivated, I felt so superior. And this is where you have to be really careful. When one starts discovering things beyond belief, when one starts understanding the real meaning of synchronicity, for example, synchronicity is not. Once you discovered true magic, which is really linked to occultism, true magic, I don't mean manipulation. Well, people also call it magic, but that's why I'm gonna go to chaos magic in a moment, which I think is the greatest form of magic of all times. And I will tell you my experience of why I think this. Well, the thing is that, coming back to the subject, when one starts seeing that people since centuries ago already knew things that normal philosophers, that psychiatry, psychology didn't know, or when we start doing bigger research and we find out that philosophers that we thought they were regular philosophers were occultists, we start having a feeling of superiority. We start forgetting the real points of occultism and learning. It's really easy, just like in philosophy and in many matters in life, it's very easy to forget what's the point. Occult sciences are meant to improve, to help you predict your own future, to help you help others, to help. It's not meant to destroy, it's not meant to make someone fall in love with you or, I don't know, win the lottery. I mean, occultism and magic, I would say is sort of the same thing, to be honest. But occultism and magic, real practices, intend to help the one that practices to improve, to make one's dreams come true for the right reasons. And now I'll go to chaos magic. Why do I think chaos magic is the greatest form of magic? Well, some might think I might be wrong, but well, I suggest you allow yourself to live it. I read many normal, let's call it that way, or different types of regular magic. I mean, normal magic, let's call it that way, dark, white. I don't know. Let's say some names, that's easier. Yelena Petrovna Blavatsky, Nympha Slavy, Cornelius Agrippa. I'm trying to remember names that captivate my attention. Because, contrary of what people say, for example, I wouldn't consider so extraordinary King Solomon, for example. But that's another subject. And a book captivated my attention since I first discovered it. The Codex Gigas. That's why I learned Latin and many other stuff to try to understand deeper. Many people think that Latin itself is powerful and that, I don't know, we have to do incantations and stuff like that. Chaos magic defeats everything. Chaos magic make you realize that there has to be a balance. Some personal situations happened to me. I went crazy, literally. And I discovered that reality and fantasy, for example, are real. And I will tell you why it's not as simple as it looks. But the thing is that chaos magic make you realize why. Chaos magic is not meant to cause chaos, as people think. It's not. It has similarities with discordianism, another very decent thing to study, but chaos magic tries to explain you that without chaos cannot be order. Without order cannot be chaos. That chaos is perfect. Chaos, only through chaos, it's possible. Everything is possible. There's the answer. Chaos magic has no limits. Chaos magic has no rules, which makes it more interesting. If you see orthodoxical occult studies and magic, you have to remember like the basic laws. What goes up must go down, etc. Chaos magic is quite different. Chaos magic tells you sometimes what goes up stays up. Sometimes a cycle is not what you need. You need to just move forward. Chaos magic explains you, not because it seems out of the ordinary, not because it seems impossible, it means it cannot exist. And it also explains you, not because it seems dangerous, it means it isn't dangerous. For example, I did several mistakes when I was studying chaos magic. I confused chaos with the dark side, which is pretty common. What do I mean with this? That there are a lot of things that this is the biggest trick with chaos magic. Chaos magic, if you try to find books properly talking about chaos magic, you probably will get disappointed. I'm already writing books about my experience, which I consider to be more important regarding chaos magic than theory. Why? Because theories are theories without actually proving what you're really talking about. That's why I started loving chaos magic, because I was researching about chaos magic and I found so little that I told myself, this must be good. If there's so little about chaos magic, and chaos magic is the most feared kind of magic and occult work that ever existed, more than dark magic and dark occult studies, because chaos magic cannot be manipulated. Actually, chaos magic and natural magic, I think they go along together really good. Chaos magic is about creating. It's about inner discovery. Chaos magic is not intended to say this works this way for you and for everyone. No, chaos magic is intended to tell you this is the way, but what did work for this person, you might not find it useful. Not because someone could, let's call it that way, sense an energy instantly, it means you are gonna be able to, or not because this person can um, do divination, let's call it that way properly. Divination, talking about the real thing, not only about. I'm not talking about those, with all respect, those liars who tell the world they know how to read the future. Reading the future is not, as in the movies, is not as specific as people think. I mean, it's a specific, but not on the way that people think. Predicting the important things of the future is an art that requires tears because it's not simple. And that's what I love about chaos magic. Chaos magic allows you to observe, allows you to learn, allows you to question for real, to question, is Carl Jung right about synchronicity? Is René Descartes right about the passions of the soul? Is King Solomon really powerful at the end of the day? Is Cornelius Agrippa just an occult man that some people adore and some people hate? For example, Cornelius Agrippa, he was not properly a chaos practitioner, but somehow his energy feels like chaos. Agrippa was the first to question himself more properly. I say the first because he was basically killed for defending women. He defended women not because they asked him to, or he wanted to be famous, or he wanted to make a bigger change. He simply understood by his own studies that reality and that the human being, the human existence, is way more complex, goes way beyond, and that the female energy is way sacred in a way that I don't wanna describe it myself because I don't want people to to pick sides. Like, it's not about that matter. It's about the love. Chaos magic actually is surrounded by love. People think that chaos and occultism is about power, it's about only riches, it's about everything. But as funny as it will sound, love, it's, for me, it's the key to it. And I will explain you in other videos. What do I mean with love? What do I mean with everything's possible? Everything is possible in chaos doesn't mean the cliche of believe and you will see. If you can see it in your mind, you can see it in life. No, chaos magic goes to the root. Occultism in the hand of the chaos and of the take it like this, chaos in general and chaos magic involves everything. It allows you to be orthodox, unorthodox, to experience different things. Chaos magic doesn't force you to stay on paradigms, on subjects. You can read a philosopher and you can read a different um, path. You can mix everything at your favor, but you must be able to see beyond your dreams, beyond reality, beyond fantasy, beyond. And you must be able to recognize through love, for example. What do I mean with love? If you don't love the fact of the greatness that the divine power, call it God, nature, chaos, if you don't see how sublime is, what knowledge, self discovery, if you don't discover the magic's magic, let's call it that way, chaos magic purpose is not fulfilled. If you don't discover what the purpose of chaos is, that's really complex to explain right here. I mean, if it's possible to explain at all. If you don't discover how logical is the illogical way that chaos is perceived, you will probably never understand how does it really works. But I will be telling you my discoveries, my experiences. For example, I will tell you the biggest things that we miss, or probably on our next video, the biggest things that we miss when we confuse an illusion with reality. And yes, it's kind of obvious, but it's not. In myself, I discovered that many things that I thought were true, that many things that looked pretty real to me, like real, they weren't. And things that were my biggest fears, things that I thought would actually kill me, they show me a greatest form of love without punishment. I'm not talking here about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. No, I'm talking about literally things that blow your mind out of nowhere. And things that you thought all your life. For example, have you ever questioned yourself, why do you like certain people more than others? And I'm not talking about physical attraction or virtues. I'm talking about that certain thing that makes you feel so driven to a certain person and a certain situation, even if you don't like it. That's the thing with illusion and reality, that sometimes it doesn't depend on if you like it or not, if you are aware or not aware. It depends on a greatest thing that I will explain later. And well, I'm writing some treatises and in general some writings about chaos magic, particularly talking. My experience, but not like telling you, oh, this happened to me once, I saw something. No, it's how can you put it in practice and how can you help yourself to be able to see real chaos magic, real occult knowledge, real realities for you in everything you do. How can you be able to understand better what you read in books? What what other people among centuries have been writing down? How can you be able to understand the messages from yourself, from God, from everything you believe in? But more importantly, how can you improve yourself in order to offer more to the world? How can you cooperate so this world is a more united place, a more lovely place to be between us? You see, chaos magic is not about danger, it's not about um, just trying to do things differently from the orthodoxical way. It's not about demonstrating if goddesses and gods are real, if I am right, you are wrong. It's not about that. It's about love. It's about improvement. So I hope this was of your interest. I hope I did explain myself enough. It's worth it to dive into this world of chaos magic and occultism in a different sense of awareness. Bye. Blessings.